Now, going over to the business blunder of the day of Nissan recalling their funny-looking engine. Now, this is brought to us thanks to Motor1.com, specifically Chris Perkins. And they say, quote, Nissan just issued a major recall for its funky variable compression engine. The innovative engine appears to be a victim of its own complexity. It couldn't have come at a worse time for Nissan, which, yeah, of all the companies that are crashing like a Boeing airplane, it's Nissan. Here you can see that funky-looking interior of the engine. And again, this is credited to Charlie Perkins, and he says, quote, Nissan's variable compression engine once held such promise. The so-called VC turbo uses a complicated mechanism to allow operation at a low compression ratio for performance and high compression ratio for better fuel economy. But reliability has become a concern, prompting the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration investigation and now a massive recall. Which, yeah, Nissan and recalls are almost like peanut butter and jelly. It's almost, well, I was going to say, I dare say they're nearly as unreliable as a Ford Motor Company vehicle, which is saying something, and they've had more recalls than anyone else this year. Now, this includes their 2019 to 2022 Infiniti QX50, 2022 Infiniti QX55, 2021 to 2004 Nissan Rogue, and the 2019 to 2020 Nissan Altima. They say that, quote, the two Infiniti models and certain trim levels of Altima uses Nissan's 2-liter 4-cylinder VC turbo engine, while the Rogue uses the 1.5-liter 3-cylinder variant. As we reported before, the problem stems from bearing failure due to a manufacturing defect in the multi-link mechanism that varies the compression ratio. Nissan had introduced manufacturing updates over the lifespan of the engine, which seems to have helped, if not solve the problem entirely, hence why the newer Infiniti models and Altimas, plus the new Murano, are not covered in the specific recall, but is a huge amount of engines. They say that per the NHTSA filing, the recall procedure is straightforward, but could prove painful for the struggling Nissan. Dealers will inspect the oil pans of the affected cars for metallic shavings. If no metallic debris is present, they'll replace the engine oil in the 4-cylinder cars and the oil and pan in the 3-cylinder cars. The 3-cylinder models will also get an updated software update, but if there's metal present in either VC turbo engine, dealers will replace the engine. Well, they'll replace the engine entirely if deemed necessary. Which, yeah, one of the most heartbreaking moments, almost like ice water being poured over your heart, is when you look at your oil and there's flakes of metal in there because the engine is literally destroying itself. Now, they say, quote, the irony is that the VC turbo engine never quite delivered on its promise of performance and fuel economy improvements. Nissan spent decades working on the engine, finally doing what many others never managed to pull off, but variable compression didn't become a must-have piece of tech. Now it's behind the curve on hybrids and EVs, playing catch-up in the changing world with a variable compression albatross hanging off of its neck. Nissan will send the recall notice to customers on August 25th, 2025, or just tune in to the Topping Show where we cover these recalls sometimes days, sometimes weeks, sometimes months ahead of schedule. And again, Nissan is already in so much trouble. They are closing nearly a majority of their factories. Again, they have 17. They're going to get down to 10 in the past next couple of years. Their sales are struggling. And this just further ruins the brand reputation of Nissan, which is already known for being an entry level, one of the cheapest Japanese cars you can get, being unreliable. I mean, shoot, it's up there with Mitsubishi. And yet another reason not to buy a Nissan when right now they need sales now more than ever. So I was going to say, I don't know if this is going to be the nail in the coffin for Nissan, but yet another reason not to buy one. And let me know, has anyone really demanded this tech? Is this a selling point where you're really excited to get, a little more fuel economy out of your engine, and then when you want to, a little bit more performance? I can't think this really didn't move the needle much when it comes to sales, or I don't think most consumers even care about this, but let me know your thoughts, because as always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. And Nissan, you are certainly the business blunder of the day. Thank you everyone for taking time to tune in today. Again, trying to get to 6,000 subscribers by the end of the month, so you can click that button. I greatly appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comments. Great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone, everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.